What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. So it looks like Grand Theft Auto 6 is shaping up to be absolutely packed with gangs and rival groups. And if you've ever played Grand Theft Auto in the past before, you already know that gangs could come in different types. They can be street crews that are fighting for neighborhoods, outlaws and motorcycle clubs running big operations. You got drug cartels moving weight, and then you also got armed militias in the backwoods. And then on top of all of this, there's also smuggling rings along the coast and the islands. And with the two trailers that we've actually gotten already, the screenshots and the 2022 leaks, they give us a solid look at what's going to be coming in terms of gangs, and we've already gotten some confirmation. So let's break this down. If you do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But the very first gang that we have is known as the Final Chapter Motorcycle Club. Now, there's a clear outlaw biker group based in Ambrosia. When you take a look at the Ambrosia screenshots, this is one of them here. You got this biker club driving together in a group as a typical motorcycle gang would. They also have some patches on the back of their shirt that first indicate they are based in Ambrosia. That's one of the regions, one of the 6 regions that will be available in Grand Theft Auto 6. And then you also have some details about the club itself that they give you. So, for example, it was founded or started in 1982, so you automatically know that this is one of the older biker gangs. They're very experienced, and from this image you also get an idea of what they look like. Each of them also has their own unique bike, so they do customize their own bikes. The patches as well, some of them are a little different, but overall that same exact logo to indicate that they're a part of the Final Chapter Motorcycle Gang. And then there's the second photo where you see a biker and it looks like his girlfriend or wife, and then there's also a bike in the background. Looks like she's also a part of this biker gang. She's tatted up. He's also wearing that same sort of jacket. He also has on a hat, which doesn't really indicate anything gang affiliated, but when you take a look at his jacket, he has on a patch that says Enforcer. And this pretty much shows that there's going to be a hierarchy or ranking system, some sort of structure within the Final Chapter Motorcycle Club. And considering the fact that they're made in the 1980s, they're probably going to be obviously an organized crime with protection, gun running. They're probably going to have that classic motorcycle club style to where you see them in past GTA games. They may be a part of like some of the bars that are available in Ambrosia. You might see them hanging around there. Now, that's just the first gang that we have. Going on to the second one, this gang is going to be based in Vice City. Now, the gang is officially named San for San, and I'll show you guys the proof of that in just a second. But the gang originates from a real-world inspiration of the Haitian-American gang known as Zopound. We've talked about in the past how La Pearl is a location in Vice City or within the Vice City region that is pretty much a take of Little Haiti. And because of that, you also have the Haitian gangs that are affiliated with it. So starting it off here, the name San for San actually comes in from Haitian Creole that means, literally translates to blood for blood or eye for an eye. So it tells you straight up that they're going to be a more aggressive gang. They're going to be outside. They're going to run the entire neighborhood. And when you take a look here at this image, you get an idea of what I mean by that. So they're in dirt bikes, they're popping wheelies, they're in the middle of the street. You have graffiti all over the place. You also have some of them driving low riders and like pimped out rides. And then you also see La Pearl pretty much written on the pillars under the highway. Now, this gang was sort of leaked to us already in the past in 2022 when leaks had started popping up, but the trailers actually confirmed this information for us. So for example, in trailer 1, there's a character wearing a necklace with what appears to be the gang emblem, making a brief appearance for like a couple seconds, but I'll pause it so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. And basically it shows that San for San. And then in the second trailer, Jason is driving past a police arrest scene, and in the wall, the graffiti clearly displays the San for San name as well as its symbol. So once again, they're outside, they're running things down, and then the police are there trying to stop them, arrest them. And then you also have the surrounding mural art style that strongly ties to the area of the Haitian culture, La Pearl, and San for San being in the center of all of this. And then when you take a look at the screenshot here, which is also indicating that they're from Pearl or La Pearl as well, because they have it tatted on their chest. They also have on this green bandana, which I believe does say San, but you can't really make it out too much. You also have his friend over on the right that has that same logo on his neck as well, which indicates the gang's logo. once again, affiliates of the Haitian crew. Additionally, the man standing on top of the green car in the trailer with, that he's saying like RIP Cuzzo, he also seems to be linked to San for San. Now, another gang that we have is going to be the one in Port Gellhorn. Now, unfortunately, we don't know the exact name of this gang, but the location, according to the description, it was once a thriving tourist destination. Port Gellhorn has now fallen into decay and ruin, and based on the decay and ruin that they're talking about is when you take a look at the screenshots that they've provided, the area appears to be heavily filled with drug trafficking activity. So this may be a narco sort of gang. In one image, you got a man, he's pretty much holding a baseball bat. He's also carrying a firearm on his back, standing in front of a cannabis crop. So it looks like they're in a facility growing these. And then the man also has bullet holes in his body. He's also fully tatted. Could potentially be the gang, but it's a little hard to see exactly what the gang name is. But then you have other things like visible scars. There's also the other guy over to the left who seems a little bit older, but he's also covered in scars and tats, suggesting that he's pretty much been there for a while, and maybe he's one of the upper ranking in the hierarchy here of this gang. And then there was also another image that showcases a woman also selling blue pills. Now, it's either she's selling them or she has this guy moving them, because it does seem like a lot and they're not like in a tiny Ziploc bag. And the guy's also tatted as well in the vehicle. And then you have a guy in the background pretty much keeping watch over this exchange. So chances are it's probably like, two gangs doing a drug trade or a drug deal or something like that. And so alongside that, it's probably going to be the narcotics hub. Port Gellhorn is going to be the area that is going to be controlled by this unknown criminal syndicate. And then also you could tell the inspiration is more than likely Cuban narcos. But going on to the next gang that we have here, this is a part of the Grass River. So this is once again another region. And the Grass Rivers also appeared in the 2022 leaks as a far-right militia group, and they're the group that like little was known about them at the time, but now we have several screenshots from trailer 2 coming in, and then as well as the actual screenshots, and the area seems to be famous for alligator hunting. And so the group clearly does not resemble regular tourists or regular locals, but they look like they are deep in the muds, literally. They don't have a set of colors or any, gang type of things that they have to wear. They're just dressed for the activities that they're doing. But whatever the case may be, there's other screenshots showcasing that the police are involved. They're chasing them. It's even to the point where there's helicopters chasing them. And we take a look at all of the images. There's one thing in common: the crocodiles that they've hunted, and it seems like this may be a part of their operations. I don't know if maybe they're using the crocs to maybe create some sort of alcohol, because you also see some bottles in the background. And then I also noticed that there's like some sort of cat or something like that that seems to also be deceased in the back behind the guy. So these guys might be poaching or doing some sort of out of season hunting without a proper license, or maybe trespassing. The point is they're doing something maybe to sell the meat, the horns, the skin, whatever the case may be here. It's just illegal wildlife trafficking or trading is what it looks like they're doing here. Now, this one's a little speculative, but there's a chance that we may end up seeing another gang that is tied more into the city life of Vice City. For example, within clubs and music labels, you have Booby Ike. He appears to be one of the major characters in Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, the description reads, "It's all about Heart, the Jack of Hearts. Booby is a local Vice City legend and acts like it, one of the few to transform his time in the streets into a legitimate empire spanning across real estate, a strip club, and a recording studio. Booby's all smiles until it's time to talk business. Booby might seem like he's just out for himself, but it's his partnership with the young aspiring music mogul Draquan for Only Raw Records that he's most invested in. Now they just need a hit." So they have a group known as Only Raw Records, which also could play as like maybe in the public eye, they're a record label, an up-and-coming record label, but behind the scenes, they could be, gang affiliated, could have to do with some illegal activity that they're doing. And then you also have a few members within it. So you got Draquan Priest, and he says here, Only Raw Records, and he always is more of a hustler than a gangster. Even when he was dealing on the streets to make ends meet, breaking into music was the goal. Now that he's signed the real dimes, Draquan's days of booking acts into Booby's strip club might be numbered, as he sets its sights on the Vice City scene. And so they're telling you here that this guy may not be, he's trying to keep it legit, but he did used to be a part of that life. And then there's also another member who is Bay Lux, and she is one half of the hip-hop ground Real Dimes. Along with Roxy, friends since high school, they know how to turn their time shaking down local dealers into cold, hard cash via spicy rap tracks and relentless social media presence. An early hit single with the local rapper DWNPLY took Real Dimes to new heights, and after 5 years and a whole lot of trouble, they're signed to only Raw Records, hoping lightning can strike twice. So once again, there's a couple members within this. They are all past, in the past they've done some things. Potentially they could be doing more. And there's pretty much more than meets the eye when it comes to this. And so other than that, these are the confirmed gangs that pretty much Rockstar has shown us already, leaks have mentioned, but then there's also the other possible classic gangs that could be returning. You have the Colombian Cartel, which is a major player in Vice City. Its influence could well extend across the state of Leonida. And then you also got the Cubans, the traditional Vice City outfits. They could potentially be revived to some extent. And then you have the Forelli crime family. As Liberty City's a mafia family, they may have already established a branch within Vice City. And then there's also the Diaz gang, the drug trafficking organization once led by Ricardo Diaz in the original Vice City. Although Diaz was eliminated by Tommy Vercetti, there's chances like remnants could potentially be still active, moving and continuing his legacy. You also got the Vice City Bikers. Just like there's the motorcycle gang that we talked about here, there's the potential chance that maybe they could be deeply rooted in the motorcycle club culture, and a comeback is plausible. And the last one is the Vercetti family. While Tommy Vercetti himself will not appear, his criminal empire might continue in some fashion. Perhaps the Vercetti family still controls certain parts of Vice City. Maybe there's a mention, or maybe a cameo could potentially end up happening, but these are pretty much the gangs that we have, and this is everything that we know so far about it. What are your thoughts? Are you guys excited? Is there a particular group that you're most interested in and maybe want to pay a visit to once GTA 6 comes out? But that's all for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and sub button. Hopefully I'll be seeing you guys again. Peace.